Good evening, everybody. This is Wednesday night. I'm Barry Fear, 8 minutes to 7 o'clock here. Thanks for joining us. And today we're going to be talking about behaving in public again. And this is one of our regular topics that we talk about on the show. And here with his opening sequence on this. Good evening to my outsider.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for listening to us again. Welcome back to Very Fear Studio. We're here to talk to you about a lot of good stuff we're going to talk about tonight.
And behaving in public, guys, is the most important thing when you are out, and don't have revenge and then have a fight with someone else. Here's my outsider for this now with his second opening quote.
We're going to talk about behaving in public. Um, we know that we have to be respectful in public and then behave properly in the public when you out or whatever you do.
And if you've got a problem with someone, sort it out properly. Don't use your fist as a punching bag. This is not acceptable. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, like Barry was mentioned that if you have anything, if you something that having with someone, you have to sort it out. It's like fighting and punching in public is not a good look for yourself and your family as well. Yeah, you have to behave properly when you go out, especially when you talk to someone.
So, in this show tonight, we'd like to give you a few tips. Sort the problem out and compromise. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, one thing, communication is the most important thing to do. Um, you have to sort it out, talk, try to solve the problem and be able to, you guys to work it out. What's the best way to?
So, before you have the argument and turn your voice up, raise it. Speak calmly in a nice, adult-like way and say, hey, look, I don't agree with this. Can we solve the problem out in another way or compromise? Here's my outsider.
Yeah. Yeah, like in public when you try to sort it out something with someone or everybody got heat and angry and try to fight. But like what Perry was mentioned that you have to work it out, talk in a calm voice and try to solve the problem and no need to fight, no need to try who is the best and who is gonna win. Just try to work it out.
And also, don't go blaming someone else if you've done something wrong, and don't accuse anybody of anything that they haven't done if you're out in public. Here's my outsider.
Yeah, totally agree with Barry what he was saying to you because if you go and have a fight in public, you'll be end up in some way you don't want to be end up. You end up in a police station or you end up in jail. You don't want to do that.
And please, if you and don't make accusations that someone said this, someone said that, someone started this, or someone said that, or someone said this. Please behave in public. Here's my offside.
Yeah, argument in public is not a good way to go because you're gonna argue and you end up fighting, and it's not cool. Especially when you out with your family, don't make your kids do see what you done in public. If someone says something to you, just turn and walk away. You agree or not you disagree. If you agree, you talk. If you disagree, just you say what you had to say and then you walk away. That's the only way to deal with it.
And to close this segment, don't grab hold of someone if you're in a motor vehicle because it can cause the person to lose control and go bang up the back of someone's backside or flipping over. Here's my offside.
Yeah, that's right. Disagree or agree, you just walk away. Don't try to, you know, hang on to it. Sometimes you get caused a lot of damage to someone else or yourself or your family
Or the car.
or the car. You don't want to do that kind of damage. It cause a lot of problems.
The next subject on tonight's show is how to cure a sore throat. Now, with winter coming on, guys, it's important to look after your health. And here's my offside anyhow for this.
Yeah, it's always good to look after yourself when you're not well, you have a sore throat, you get cold, anything you feel, just try to look after yourself. It's very important to you.
And the way to cure a sore throat is a hot lemon and a honey drink, guys. Simply squeeze some lemons with some hot water and a couple of teaspoons of honey. Drink that a couple of times a day to keep your vitamin C intake up. And fluid is the number one thing if you are sick. Here's my offside.
Yeah. If you've got a sore throat, what there was mentioned that lemon, honey, and tea. And I heard someone tell me that if you have a garlic and ginger in there as well, it will make it better. And but I didn't try it before, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, try to look after yourself. It's very important.
And like my offside, he's got a bit of a funny throat tonight. So my advice to you, go and get some throat lozenges,
Yeah.
um, some betadine gargle, and go for the lemon and honey like I've just mentioned. Here's my offside.
Thank you, Barry, for telling me this. Yeah, I will try that tonight when I go home. But yeah, it's one of those things that come and go. Yeah.
So winter is coming, guys. And on the subject of sickness, if you are not well, please do not come to work. We also bring this up on our show regularly. Here's my offside.
100% agree with you, Barry. Yeah, if you're sick, please don't come to work. It will be sending all the disease to all the client or the staff as well. They make them sick as well. And if you get sick, please stay home, try to get well, then come back.
And get a doctor's certificate as well, and get clearance so that he can give the green light for you to come back to work. If he says no, stay off for another week and get a course of antibiotics and get a script from the doctor. That's all he can do for you. He's my outsider.
Yeah. Like Barry say, yeah. Look after yourself and go to the doctor and see what you have. You don't take honey and tea if you get sick. Just go to the doctor, get some antibiotics or some tablet to fix yourself up, and then you'll be able to come back to work. Beautiful.
And get plenty of rest as well when you are sick and cancel any plans you have made, such as going out to dinner with friends, the movies, your friends coming over because they don't want to catch what you've got. And be considerate of others when sick. Think about others. Here's my outsider.
Yep. Like you say, very think about others before you make a move to come to work or go to the public or go to family gathering because if you get sick, you might cause someone to get sick and worse than what you had. Just try to get yourself sorted before you.
And don't kid yourself if you're better and think you are. Because if you're still coughing and spluttering all over the place 7 days later, go back to the doctor. The last two topics I'd like to bring up on tonight's show is showing respect for people here at the house, and here's my outsider.
Yep. Like what Barry's saying, if you work in the house or you work in the place of a lot of stuff, you have to respect it. You have to behave properly in that gathering because teamwork make the dream work.
And it makes the job a lot easier if everybody works as a team. And we've been saying tonight on the show, compromise and agreeing and saying if you don't agree with something in an right way, here's my outsider.
Yep. We speak to you guys a lot about disagreement and behaving in public and all this kind of stuff. You may come to work, you agree with some stuff and then you don't disagree. You have to try to work it out. That's what you got.
To conclude tonight's show, we always end with the all important topic, and that is calling 000. Now, with winter coming up, please, we'd like you to think prior to making that call and don't just ask for an ambulance or the police or fire for no apparent reason. Here's my offside, and now to bring you this last little bit of the story before we say goodnight to you people for this Wednesday, the 1st of May.
Yeah. What we were saying to you guys, we keep encourage everybody to look after each other and look after yourself. And then, especially when you're in the public, you have to behave properly, calling 000 is another thing that we always telling you guys, we go out and we get in, we just talk to you guys about, about 000. Please look after yourself, behave properly in public, and don't call 000.
And Another closing quote, we forgot to mention this: don't harass the staff or abuse the staff because they won't be tolerating it. Here's my outsider now for this important quote.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying to you guys, look after yourself, keep healthy, and respecting each other is the one thing, and then you'll be a long way. Um, Especially at work, in public, or wherever you go. You respect people, they'll treat you back with respect.
Next time on the show, we'll be talking about how to stay healthy over the winter break or the winter season and what clothes to wear. But that's all we've got time for on the show tonight. And thanks for joining us here tonight. Here's my outsider to give you his farewell and closing speech now.
Thank you, everybody, for listening up. Please listen to our YouTube. Comment. Feel free to comment. Feel free to likes because give you some great messages to look after yourself and everything what we say to you guys. Please press the button, like or comment. That's from the studio of Very Fear tonight.
And remember, look after one another and respect one another. And this is where I'd like to finish the night's commentary by saying, have a good night, a good night's sleep, a good breakfast in the morning, and enjoy your day at work or wherever you're traveling to, and drive safely on those roads. Until my outsider and I see you on the next show, it's good night. Have a pleasant rest of Wednesday night, and we'll see you next time here on the show. I'm Barry Fair. Have a terrific night tonight. Have a night's sleep. And if you've got a sore throat like we said at the start of the program, grab a hot lemon and honey drink to keep your vitamin intake, your vitamin C intake up, and get your flu shots to avoid getting sick. And that's a wrap, guys. We'll see you next time round, right here, with Barry Fair and my outsider from all of us here at our Oceana Street premises. We wish you a very good night. Good night, everybody. Here's my outsider to wish you a good night now.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for listening to us, and hopefully you learned something from our video today. And then we'll catch up next week.
We'll catch you next time round.
Catch you next time.
And we'll be talking about nachos on the next show.
Yum stuff.
So if you want some video on nachos, get your plates out, guys, and your corn chips, and your kidney beans, and your cheese, and your salsa, and your mint and avocado, because nachos, we're going to be bringing you a video on that next time, right here with Barry Fair. Until then, good night.
Good night, everyone.